of a community. A community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up.
a message as well. No.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologise. We've had a few technical difficulties out here, but it seems that we're back on and you can hear us. Do apologise about that. Unfortunately, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm having to direct the live stream and call the game, which is certainly something that is not something I try and do too often. Hopefully no more interruptions from here. Ball trickles through for a behind, and we've just been given the thumbs up. We're getting audio, and away we go. So I think that was through the agency of Helmore, the behind. So they move on to 3-3-21 to the Demons. The Bulldogs, and 1-1-7 the Demons. As Voss takes a courageous mark out at the half-back flank on the far side of the ground. He looks to launch it in long towards half-forward. And we'll get a boundary throw in. The umpire's going to have another ball up. Been a few stoppages so far throughout this game. Umpire throws it up, and he's picked out a free kick. It's going against Proud this time. So it's going to Badhams of RUP, who kicks it long, looking to go inside 50. Great spoil there by Aaron Paxton from Bunyip as the ball comes out to Allen, who chips it to a teammate and finds him on the wing. He turns around, kicks it back long towards the half-forward flank towards that man in Helmore who's starting to get busy across half-forward. And the umpire's going to ball it up. So umpire throws the ball back up, and he's picked out a free kick here. Now there's a little bit of a scuffle, and there's a player down. It looks like it's a Bunyip player. And it looks like it's Galash, who's had a good start to this game, and he's very ginger. And as Murator kicks it long towards the RUP forward line, but Paxton's back there for the Bulldogs. He's able to pick up, but he's tackled well by his RUP opponent, and the umpire's going to ball it up about 45 out from the RUP goal as they look to hit the scoreboard with their second, and we've gone a tick under 25 minutes in this first quarter as pulls out a free kick to Voss, who quickly plays on, snaps it towards goal, and the great defensive mark there. Can't quite see who that is from Bunyip, but he goes out to the outside side where he's got numbers, and he finds his teammate in Keith, who chips it in to Turning. Turning just holds things up on that half-back flank. He's going to look to go long down the line. Galash is back up, so he contests for that ball, and the umpire's going to pick a free kick out, and he's paid advantage to RUP. And Mitchell Camarara really liked his first quarter. He goes long inside 50. Paxton goes up from Bunyip. Can't mark. Ball spills free. Number of players around this footy as Bunyip looked to, and a great tap on there by the Bunyip player in Xavier Kinder. He's done a couple of nice things today. Voss goes long towards goal, but it's all Bunyip back there. And that's Keith, who goes long, straight up the guts. Bit of a dangerous kick. And the ball actually falls back and ends up in Voss's hands. He shoots towards goal. Flying shot on goal, falls, actually stays in play. And now in defence there, Papsley did slip, so I'm sure the KOO RUP player didn't mean to get him high there, but he did, accidental. So he'll get the free kick, Papsley, as he looks to go long. And there's an advantage to Bunyip, who go forward and find Hughes, who has a great kick, and that's a fantastic kick as he kicks it out in front of Dylan Can, who gathers, goes onto the left, little grubber kick. We'll have a boundary throw in. Now, I reckon I'm saying William Papsley because I've put an S down there, and I've got a feeling it might be Papley. So, Will Papley. So, I do apologise, and I have said his name a fair bit, so Papley for Bunyip. And there's the siren. End of the first quarter. Nice contest. Bunyip started off like a house on fire, but KOO RUP were able to maintain things in that second half of that quarter. And for your Totally Workwear Gippsland Store scoreboard, we have got KOO RUP 117 plays Bunyip 3-3-21. All thanks to Totally Workwear and the Fairhaven Homes match the round. We'll take a break out from KOO RUP Recreation Reserve, and we'll get back for a tightly contested second quarter straight after this.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. And it's feeling like I'm in the groove. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no. And it's feeling like I'm in the roof. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland, whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. No, no.
Welcome back to KOO RUP Recreation Reserve at quarter time. Got a reasonably tight contest going on here. There's Bunyip got a bit of a jump early days in that first quarter, but KOO RUP were able to switch things up in the second half, and it was through the agency of players such as the Camerano brothers and Murator. Their midfield started to get on top in the stoppages. So once again, we do apologise for any technical difficulties we may have had during that first quarter. As made mention, it's very difficult trying to look after all the graphics and everything on the live stream and call a game of football. They say that men can't multitask, and maybe they might be right, so, but not to worry. I've just had been made aware as well that Archie Witter, I think it might be. It's either Witter or it's Stockwell. I'll chase it up. Might be in a bit of strife. He's on crutches, so keep an eye on that, all thanks to Double NT Uniforms, Healthcare by Totally Workwear. So we've got Badhams and Proud doing battle in the ruck again as the siren goes to begin the quarter. And we're away. And as we say every week and every quarter, we'll start off with another bounce. Proud gets the tap out and he gets the handball out of this stoppage as well. Good follow-up work there by Badhams. Can't quite get it. But a quick kick inside 50 from Nathan Allen of Bunyip, and a great intercept mark there by Dolan, who gets the ball moving out to Voss. Voss just has it just defensive side of his wing. He plays on now and Goes long towards half forward, looking for a teammate. Goes out the back and finds that man in Nathan Meritor. Who can't quite escape, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Far side of the ground, half forward flank. Umpire throws the ball back in. Proud wins that hit out again. Gee, I'd like to know how many hit outs Proud's won early days. As Helmore kicks the ball long down towards his teammate there, who goes back inside. Kicks it and finds a teammate in McMillan, who handballs out to a running player in Can. Can's able to pick it up, snap on the right foot, and he's just missed to the near side. And move on to 3-4-22. It's going to be brought back into play by Mitch Alderson. In fact, he passes on to Cozzy. I think we're just going to go with Cozzy. Having difficulty pronouncing his last name. Heard good things about Cozzy though. Heard he's a very good player. And Cozzy goes long, almost to the middle of the ground with that kick. And it comes off hand. It finds that man in Helmore again, who goes in short and finds a teammate. Quickly plays on, goes back to Helmore. Gets tackled, get his hands free, and the umpire has paid holding the ball. He did have prior. And it's that man again in Mitchell Camerano, who, although being behind, he might just about be the best man on the ground at this stage. He goes long towards the wing. Ball falls out the back, and it's Nathan Meritor again, who can't quite gather it. Picked up by Voss, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Centre wing on the far side of the ground here at KOO RUP Recreation Reserve. Say that 10 times over. Ball thrown back into play. And Proud wins that again. Out the back to McMillan, who's tackled quickly. Gets the ball out to a teammate who kicks it towards the half-forward flank. It's gathered there by Camerano of KOO RUP. The ball gets spilled free, and we've got Allen of Bunyip trying to pick it up. He can't. Voss picks it up and just kicks it as far as he can. But it's all Bunyip there, cross half back. So Quirk goes long, and we'll have another boundary throw in. So the ball comes back into play. Proud brings the ball to ground. They fight amongst themselves, but we'll have another stoppage out on that far wing. Ball thrown back into play. Proud wins the hit out yet again. Good tackle there. Well, I think that was Papley. So we're going with Papley this quarter. After 3/4 of the quarter, calling him Papsley. Ball gets thrown back up on centre wing. Proud wins the hit out yet again. The umpire's pulled out a free kick. It's going the way of Bunyip, and I think it's Nathan Allen. So Allen's going to kick it long towards half forward, looking for his teammate in Hughes, who goes up for the mark. It spills free, picked up again by that man in Mitchell Camerano, who gets it out to a teammate in Cozzy. Cozzy goes back into a board and gets the 1-2 with a teammate. He goes back towards the corridor. And it's a free kick with hands in the back to KOO RUP. So nice bit of play there from Cozzy. Able to bring the ball back inside through the corridor. The umpire calls play on. Now Helmore's running in hot. Forces him to kick it long on his left foot. Bunyip with the numbers. Voss has to go up against 2. He sits on top of it, and the umpire will ball it up. So Proud wins that hit out yet again. We've got Helmore over it for Bunyip, and he's tackled by Cozzy, and we'll have another stoppage centre half forward for KOO RUP. Proud wins the hit out, and he just drags it back in close, and we will have another ball up. Gee, lots of stoppages in this game. As I said earlier, breeze favouring to the left of screen ever so slightly, so see if Kiwi Rup can make most of that in this second quarter. And the umpire's going to pull a free kick out there to Kiwi Rup, and it looks like it's going to go to that man in Archie. No, in fact, it wasn't Archie Witter, it was James Voss, who got off to a teammate, and Bunyip are away here. They got numbers who have just come on the interchange bench, and now the umpire's called a free kick here. I'm not even sure what it was for, but it's going to go to Voss, who goes long inside 50 to a teammate. Bunyip have got all the numbers here, though. They do well to corral and keep the ball locked inside their forward 50 here, though, Kiwi Rup, and the umpire will come in and we'll have a bounce. And now the umpire off the ball picked out a free kick and for a punch to the stomach and didn't hand the ball back correctly, so 50 metre it will be. No one stands the mark from Kiwi Rup, so the Bunyip player is allowed to go deep and run inside 50 through Ross, who goes long to a contest, and it's picked up there by Blake Can, who handballs off to a teammate in Allen, who has a quick snap, and he misses. They move to 3-5-23. I beg your pardon. Yes, 3-5-23. And it'll be Cozzy to bring the ball back in for Kiwi Rup. Really liked his ball use through the midfield and across half back this afternoon. Now Cozzy goes along towards a contest at half forward, and it's intercepted there by Dylan Proud, who's had a great game in the ruck so far. Now he gives it off to a running player in Turning, who goes long inside 50, should be cut off by Cozzy. He goes up for the mark, intercepted. Quick snap by the Bunyip player. They got numbers here in Miller. Miller goes long towards his defensive half-back, and it might be Proud again, and it is. He looks to be limping. He's got the ball about 60, 65 out from goal, so he's going to quickly go in short. Can't hit up a teammate. It's spoiled by Kiwi Rup. Ball spills out to... Is it Helmore? No, it's Ross, and Ross dodges one. He dodges two. He kicks it to the top of the square. A couple people contest. And they're just trying to kill the ball here, Kiwi Rup, and they end up kicking it back outside 50, and the ball comes out to Galash, who snaps it back into the hot spot. They all go up and gather around the footy. Ball spills out, and Gallant from Kiwi Rup is wrapped up. Now, that looks like it might be a free kick there, and it will be. And Blake Can has done a few nice things this afternoon for Bunyip. He's going to line up for goal. A little bit of feeling in this game this afternoon. Bit of push and shove and argy-bargy, as Proud makes his way on over to the interchange bench. So in he comes. Fantastic kick. Knew exactly what he was doing there. Did Blake Can. Just put it up, let the wind, a little bit of breeze, bring it back straight through the middle. They move on to 4-5-29, 1-1-7 Kiwi Rup. That is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. As Luke Glassborough just comes on to the ground for Kiwi Rup, with Tyson Twite coming off the ground on the wing. It's been good, Blake Can, running up that wing. Seems to be playing that more offensive wingman type role. We've actually got Brent Hughes, who's pushed up from the forward line into the ruck at the moment. So Hughes and Badhams go up together, and the ball spills free. And it's picked up by Hughes again, who weaves his way out and goes in towards half forward. And Miller's the first to arrive for Kiwi Rup, and the umpire has picked up a free kick, and I think it's downfield, and it's going to go to Bunyip. So Bunyip get the ball moving quickly, and I think that's Keith who's going to deliver inside 50. And that is a fantastic kick, and it hits his teammate and Jason Williams, who will line up for his second of the afternoon. Just going to have a look and see who that was. I don't think it might have been Can, Dylan Can. Fantastic left foot kick to the sliding Williams, who, as I said, is lining up for his second goal, and he looks like he's going to do the around the corner snap. And he's pulled it too much to his near side. They move on to 4-6-30. Bunyip with 117 KOO RUP, and they're starting to have that dominance like they did early in the first quarter. The Bulldogs, as Cozzie's going to look to go long straight up the corridor. As Hoos contests for it, but the ball spills free. Comes out to Ross, who gets his kick away, but it's smothered. Voss goes to one of his brothers, and it comes back out to Voss, and Nathan Voss this time kicks it towards half forward for KOO RUP. It's picked up by Kyle Nunn, and the umpire's going to blow the whistle. He might have been taken high, was Nunn. He's got a teammate running past in Murator, who gets the hands, kicks it long to the hot spot. They'll all fight. Now, he had claim there, did Voss, I think, for that mark. Umpire said play on. The ball comes out now for Bunyip onto the broadcast wing. It comes out there just in front of McMillan for Bunyip, and we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for Bunyip on the broadcast side. So we'll have Riley Badhams going up. We'll just see who that was as Helmore gets the kick forward, and ball comes out for Xavier Kinder, who has a bit of a shank kick, and be a free kick in the defensive back pocket for Jason Stockel, who kicks it inboard to Mitchell Camerano, who continues to rack up possessions. He's just waiting for his team to shift its defence across the ground. He gets a handball over to a teammate. Teammate goes in short and finds McMaster, who McMaster then kicks it out towards that boundary side, and we'll have another boundary throw in. Really like the way they've set up some of their plays coming off half back, the Bulldogs. Lots of overlap. This ball comes back in, and we'll have Brent Hughes and Riley Badhams going up for that. Ball comes out through the agency of Gallant. Now, and it's come off the boot of a KOO RUP player, and it's going to be a free kick to Papley. Papley with a big kick, and I think it's going to be kick to kick because it's going back out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick to Mitchell Camerano again. In typical country footy fashion, someone's got to jump out of their car and go and grab the footy and kick it back over the fence. It's what makes our great game so special. Just those little intricacies like that. So Mitchell Camerano, he goes inboard, can't find Voss. Ball spills free, and we will have another boundary throw in. So at half time, we'll try and get an update from KOO RUP as to who the injured player is. They've got someone on crutches, and I believe it might be Archie Witter, but we'll keep an eye on that as KOO RUP win this contest here, and they go towards half forward. It's picked up by Nunn. Nunn gets a handball out to Miller. Miller goes back onto his right foot and goes towards half forward. And he hits a teammate in Nathan Murator, who's been really effective across half forward this quarter. He'll be kicking from about 50. He's just potentially looking to see if anyone's willing to come by for a handball. Now, I've just found out it's not Archie Witter that's got the injury. So he's out there, so we'll keep an eye as to who it is. And as he goes towards goal, and they're able to fist it through for a behind. Probably just a little bit too far out, and they move on to 1-2-8 with 4-6-30 for the Bulldogs. Looks like they're going to come out towards the broadcast side of the ground. He changes his mind and goes back in short and finds his teammate in Papley. So Papley's just waiting for some teammates up ahead to move, and he's going to go towards McMillan on the wing. Goes over his head, in fact, looking for Brazier, and had the height disadvantage against Miller. Takes a nice intercept mark, and he's going to go long inside 50. Now they need to talk there, but the ball spills out there to Kyle Nunn. Great tackle there by Nathan Voss, and we'll have a ball up about 40 out from goal for the KOO RUP side. So the ball goes up. We've got Voss competing there against Matthew O'Halloran. And they come out here now through the agency of Can. They got the numbers here through Miller. Miller gets his hands free and gets the handball out to Jesse Camararo, who goes back inside and finds. No, just comes off at the last second. So they compete. The ball comes out to that man, Nathan Meritor, again, who goes long inside 50. Voss just creates a contest, which is all you can ask from your key forwards, and he creates a stoppage. We'll have another boundary throw in, left forward pocket, broadcast side of the ground. Now the umpires off the balls pick something out here, and I think it's a free kick going to Voss, and it is. And it is, so in fact, yes it is, it's Nathan Voss. So they've pulled out a free kick here to Nathan Voss, and it's fair to say they're going to need this one to go through KOO RUP side. So Voss, in he comes, and he puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat. So they move on to 2-2-14. Bunyip are 4-6-30, and that is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. Not sure if there's any correlation, but Duncan Proud did spend a bit of time off the ground just then, and they were able to get first use in the stoppages for a bit there. So he's back on, so it'll be interesting to see how they go in the ruck contest, because when he's been in there, it's fair to say he's been dominating. So he's back in there now, and we've got Mitchell Camarano coming back off the bench, and he's going to spend a bit of time up forward. Voss goes long, got none. Oh, and a terrific mark. Fantastic mark there by Jai Keith. O'Halloran gets the handball away to a teammate. Quick kick there by Ross. In fact, it's turning. Go back inside 50, KOO RUP. Can't quite hold on to it, Voss. He dives up on top of it. He's tackled. Ball quickly spills out, and I think it's Keith there again. It's the goalkeeper for Bunyip. It looks like Aaron Paxton's going to bring the ball back in. Oh, and a terrific mark there from Daniel Halmore. Gee, he's been good today. That's a contender for our mark of the day, all thanks to Fuse by King G. So he goes long towards the wing, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So 2-3-15 plays 4-6-30. Tick under 20 minutes gone in this second quarter. So with all their dominance, Bunyip, they're only 15 points up. So KOO RUP will be taking this at the moment. As Proud wins that hit out again. Ball comes through Dylan Can, who goes back inside the middle, and it's that man Halmore again who picks up cleanly, gets a handball out to a player who kicks it towards half forward. Can't quite mark there is Allen. KOO RUP have the numbers here, and that's picked up by Alderson, who gets the handball, and he follows up his work. Now he's tapped the ball out there. There's an appeal for deliberate, but the umpire says throw it in. Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. Got Proud, who tries to tap it. Players running by, and it's that man in Mitchell Camarano again with the clearance. And a fantastic mark there by Luke McCaster. in the long sleeve. He's going to go towards half forward, and he's going to pop it over the top to his teammate in Voss, who's really come to life this quarter. Voss. Now, they were away there with KOO RUP, and it was a mark, and that's why the umpire couldn't pay advantage. So Nathan Voss has the ball between wing and half forward, looking to go inside 50. Love another goal or two before half-time with the Demons. He sits it up and looks for a teammate, and proud goes the double fist. Danny Frawley would be proud of that one. The big double fist over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in just inside 50 for the KOO RUP side. Looks like Voss is going to go up against Proud. Proud wins the hit out, but he hits it straight out to Meritor. He goes out to Camerano, who goes to the top of the square. Great front and centre there by Cozzy. He ducks into the tackle, and the umpire had no hesitation in paying that. Correct decision. He had prior, and he ducked into it. And they're away out to the far side now. It's picked up by Turning. He gets the handball over to a teammate, who then gets it to Keith. Ball comes out to Proud. He goes back out to his teammate in Turning, who handballs it back out to Can, who's tackled. Ball then gets intercepted by Gallant, who then has his kick smothered. They all pile on between wing and half forward here for KOO RUP. And they did well there, KOO RUP, because they had numbers there and they were streaming for the overlap were the Bunyip players, but they've done well to hold them up there. So we'll have a stoppage between wing and half forward. Ball goes up. Proud gets the hit out. And it's Camerano trying to force his way through. He's able to... He did have... Well, did he or didn't he? That's the question. He'll go to Allen. So Allen goes towards the wing. They got the numbers here, KOO RUP. Ball hits the ground, and that man, Halmore, again, keeps it in front. Great second tackle. Now the umpires picked a free kick here. I think it was the second tackle coming in, and the free kick's going to Papley. He's got numbers in the corridor if he wants to use them. He quickly plays on and does just that. Goes towards the hot spot. They got numbers flooding back, though, to KOO RUP. And a fantastic mark there. And it looks like it might be Aaron Paxton who's crept down from half-back. It is. So a great contested mark by Paxton, and this one could really hurt KOO RUP. They've had the play the last few minutes, haven't been able to put on the scoreboard as Paxton comes in and straight over the goal umpire's hat. The reserves boys from behind the goals let us know. They move on to 5-6-36. KOO RUP 2-3-15. That is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Bit of an arm wrestle.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Throughout the day, Bunyip, but they're holding tight.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Proud and Battens will go again, and that time it's Battens.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Fist the ball forward.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
Great forward pressure there by the KOO RUP side.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
They'll have another ball up, half forward, KOO RUP.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working
Ball
community.
spills free and Voss.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hardworking community.
Again, who gets the rebound outside 50, and he goes
Totally
out towards his
Workwear,
teammate in
clothing
Fraser.
your hardworking community.
Throw in, centre wing, far side.
Totally
ground.
Workwear,
KOO RUP,
clothing your
recreation
hardworking community. Totally Workwear, clothing your 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 hardworking community.
And the siren goes. Half time.
Totally Workwear, clothing your hardworking community.
Interesting half a footy, in fact, just before
Totally
we go to
workwear.
half-time.
Clothing your hard-working community.
31 of Kiwi RUP. Unfortunately,
Totally
looks like
workwear.
he's done something to
Clothing
his
your
ankle.
hard-working
Maybe a
community.
Bad sprain of the ankle, so he's on crutches.
Totally workwear.
We go into half-time.
Clothing your hard-working
It is
community.
Kiwi RUP 2-3-15. Bunyip 5-6.
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community.
GIPPSLAND scoreboard. Take a break.
Totally workwear.
And
Clothing
come
your
back,
hard-working community.
Assess things in the first half.
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community. 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 Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community.
Going all the way up,
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community.
way up.
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community.
Everything
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community. 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 Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community.
everything that holds me down.
Totally workwear. Clothing your hard-working community. 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 Totally Workwear, 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 clothing your hard-working community.
Welcome back to KOO RUP Recreation Reserve. It's half time out here in the Fairhaven's home match of the round. Proudly supported by Totally Workwear GIPPSLAND stores, the brand new store. Not sure if it's open out in Pakenham yet. I might be coming through Pakenham on the way home, so I might have a check out and see if it's open yet. Although it'll be closed, certainly by the time I roll back into town. We've got the store out at Warrigal, thanks to our good mate, Nick Gooden. Did mention his name, Nick Gooden, a few times prior to the game, but I don't believe it would have gone through, because if we've had technical difficulties with the audio, it might not have been picked up. So, again, if Nick Gooden, if you're listening or having a gander of the game, I do apologise for the fines that you received last week. It was made. I was made aware during the week that you have to pay a couple of dollars every time your name, which is Nick Gooden, is announced over the Match of the Round live stream. And apparently you couldn't even afford petrol to drive to the game this week. I saw your comment on Facebook. So, but no, in all seriousness, great supporters of the Match of the Round live stream, and they've been fantastic to date so far. Have the Totally Workwear team out at the stores at Warragul, Wonthaggi, Terrelgan, and the new store in Pakenham opening very soon. They've been fantastic supporters of local footy, as have Fairhaven's Homes, the naming rights partner of the Match of the Day, and of course Alex Scott and Staff Real Estate, the naming rights partner of the West Gippsland Football Netball League. I notice in my travels I've been to a few of the West Gippsland grounds of recent times since starting this earlier this year, and they have a big presence in the KOO RUP and Pakenham and Narnagoon and this side of Gippsland. So fantastic supporters of community football, and we've got a decent game out here. They've had majority of the play of the Bulldogs, with 11 scoring shots to 5, but they're only 21 points up, and I think KOO RUP would take that. They are a player down, as we mentioned earlier. Troy Dolan, who I believe went down with an ankle injury very early in the contest, so they're a player down, and they're only 21 points down, and yeah, I think they'll fancy themselves. They're in touching distance in this second half, so there's plenty of opportunities for them to get back into this game. Really like the game of Helmore for Bunyip. Hasn't had 15, 20 possessions, but every time he goes near the ball, it seems like something's going to happen. So really impressed with his start to the game, and similar for Blake Can, playing sort of that wing role, just going from point post to point post. And again, it's not about the total of possessions he's had, but it's his influence he's having when he's got the ball in hand or he's creating opportunities. And I think he's even hit the scoreboard himself. So see how he can continue into this second half. And Mitchell Camerano, who we're in the Camerano and Sons commentary box, thanks to I think it's the G&M Camerano and Sons fruit and veg wholesalers. So they were very kindly. Yes, G&M Camerano and Sons vegetable wholesalers. So very fortunate to have them set up their truck on the wing here at KOO RUP Recreation Reserve. So if you ever see them out and about at a market or one of the wholesaler venues for fruit and veg, be sure to get in and say g'day and say that you tuned in and watched them on the live stream. And I'm sure Mitchell Camerano will be pleasantly happy to have a chat with you, because he's probably been the one of the better players, not only for KOO RUP but on the ground. He's been everywhere. He's getting back and helping his defenders when possible. So liked his game. I've also liked, I've also liked his number up from him, Nathan Murator, who, again, he's probably doing the opposite role, where he's starting in the midfield and pressing forward at opportunities. So see if they can continue their good start to this game into the second half. Dominant ruck performance by Duncan Proud. He's tall, he's big, he's athletic, so he's able to impact the contest once the ball hits the deck as well. So really liked his game so far. Jason Wells, we spoke about him pre-game, been a bit quiet, but that said, haven't had a heap of the ball coming in there, and when they have, they've had numbers set up of Bunyip to intercept. So, and rightly so. I think it's a very good player to kick 14 goals in the first 3 games with 2 bags of 6. So I've got no doubt there was probably a bit of focus from the Bunyip coaching staff going into the game as how we're going to nullify him, as both the teams are back out onto the ground. Now I must apologise again that for the first, I think it was about the first 20 minutes of the game, we had no audio. But if I had audio, you might have realised that I was calling William Papsley. That was my fault. I was writing out the team sheets prior to the commencement of the game, and yeah, I think I accidentally said his name Papsley, and sorry, wrote it down as Papsley instead of Papley, and now I'm looking at the team sheet and it's definitely William Papley. So apologies to Papley. I'm pretty sure it's a relation to Sydney Swans' Tom Papley. I believe he's a Bunyip boy. So if he's half as good as his brother, he must be a very good football player, but he's been great this afternoon. Really like some of the delivery going inside 50 as well from Dylan Can, that left foot. I love a good ball user off halfback using the left foot, and Dylan Can's been no exception this afternoon. Some of his forward 50 entries have been fantastic. So KOO RUP are just about ready to go and in their positions, and looks like it's going to be Riley Badhams to go up in the ruck, and I've got no doubt it'll be Duncan Proud heading there for the Bunyip side. So another one that I was pronouncing very ordinary and decided to go with his first name in Cozzy is Cozzy Anagnastu. Cozzy Anagnastu. Please drop a comment if that's how you pronounce it, but we're going to go with Cozzy as we have all afternoon, and he's been another one for KOO RUP that's used the ball well in the midfield and across half back, and they certainly look to get the ball in his hands as much as possible. So siren goes for the start for the third quarter, and away we go. Now Cozzy's got one high there. He gets his handball away. So Proud ends up getting the clearance, and he looks for his teammate in Allen, who's sat on there by Glassborough, and as we say every single week and after every single start of the quarter, have another bounce. So the ball goes up. Proud with a big fist. Goes to a KOO RUP player though, and Voss now gets his hands on it. He goes long inside 50, looking for that player in, I think it's Wells. Ball comes out through Allen. Oh, and he's ducked into the tackle there, so has Can. Blake Can there. So he sung his praises at half-time, so he starts off with a kick towards half forward, and it's sailed over the back, and KOO RUP have the numbers now, and they go down the line, and the one-on-one on the wing. Now the umpire's blown his whistle, and I think it might have been an accidental blow of the whistle, and doesn't matter, we'll have a ball up. So we'll have Proud and Badhams do battle again. So Proud wins that one, but it's that man in Mitchell Cameraro again who gets the clearance out to Voss. Then Cozzy gets the ball inside to one of his teammates. He tries to go back to Cozzy, but it's intercepted by Bunyip. Halmore's in there, but he gets pushed off it. Cozzy gets the ball, his kick smothered. Then it comes out to Badhams, who kicks it long inside 50, looking for that man that we spoke about at halftime in Nathan Maritor. So he goes out to Voss. Voss then goes inboard and hits up his teammate and finds McCaster. Beautiful kick there from Voss just to hit up his player on the short 45. And perfect spot to lead there from Luke McCaster. So we'll see if he can put one through. And they do need this to get things started in this second half. So McCaster comes in. It looks like it's fading. It's going to fall short. Now it spills free, and it's that man in Meritor again. And the umpire's going to call a bounce. So Proud to do battle, and I can't see who that is from KOO RUP. So Proud wins the hit out. Comes out to KOO RUP, and it's slapped away. Now picked up there by Kyle Nunn. So Nunn, kick towards the inside, and that is a fantastic skewed kick to his teammate in Nathan Voss. He really lifted things for him. He quickly plays on and snaps the goal. So exactly the start that they would have wanted, the Demons. So the Demons move on to 3-3-21. Bunyip, Bulldogs, they're on 5-6-36. So that's exactly the start that they would have spoken about at halftime, the KOO RUP boys. Nathan Voss is able to get things going. So we'll have another ball up in the middle. Ball goes up. Give that one to Badams. Ball scraps around. Allen's over it, and he gets through, and he gets a scrubby kick away, but he is caught high, and the umpire's going to pay that free kick. So ball brought back to Allen. Nathan. So Nathan Allen chips to a teammate and finds Jeb McLeod. He gives the hand back to Allen. Allen then goes deep inside 50 to a one-on-one to Papley, and he marks. He read the drop of the ball perfectly there, did William Papley, and he should go through and have the quick reply. And he does. So the quick reply straight away there from Bunyip, and they move on to 6-6-42. 3-3-21, KOO RUP side. And that is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. He read the flight beautifully there, did Papley. Saw that the ball was just dropping a little bit and left his opponent. Got to that front position. So the boundary umpires will bring the ball back to the field umpire in the middle. Get things started again as Badams and Proud do battle once again. So the ball goes up. Picked up there, I think it was Witter. Handball out from Allen, intercepted by Witter, who kicks it long towards that. His teammate in Wells. Voss goes up, slaps it out. Quick snap there by Wells. And he's just faded it. Could have been goal for goal there. So they move on to 3-4-22, the Demons. So they bring the ball back through the corridor to McLeod. He handballs the ball back to Allen, who then goes in short to and he's dropped it. Now Miller has the ball there for Bunyip. Ball came out to Galan, who got the ball off to a teammate who goes long inside 50. They've got the numbers here, though, through the agency of Paxton. Ball comes out now to Thuring. They've got the numbers and they've worked it out well. Ball comes out to Ashley Allen, who comes back out to Blake Can. Blake Can goes long inside 50 to a 2-on-1. Gets out the back there, and we've got Jason Williams leading towards goal. He soccers off the ground. Leading back in the race there for Bunyip is Xavier Kinder, and Xavier Kinder goes through and kicks the goal. Fantastic bit of play there along the wing. Fast ball movement, quick hands, overlap run. Leads to a great goal, and I believe that might be the second of the afternoon for Xavier Kinder. In fact, it is. He had that beautiful snap from the pocket earlier on in the day, which will no doubt be the King G Comfort Max goal of the day later on, unless we can get something better until then. But to now, it's going to take some beating as the ball goes back up. Now the umpire's going to pull a free kick out to KOO RUP. He held on too long, and it's Voss. So Voss goes long inside 50 looking for that man in Wells. He's ball smothered. So Bunyip are able to clear. And a great tackle there by Wells. Umpire says play on. And they play stacks on and we'll have a ball up about 30 out from the KOO RUP goal. Ball goes up. Proud fists it away. Paxton picks it up. He's got one arm pinged by Murator. And the umpire says, I'll have it, thank you. Ball goes up. Proud looking to get it towards the boundary line and a quick clearance there. Comes out to Dylan Can again, who gets the ball moving onto a teammate through the corridor, and he tries to hit up his teammate in Brent Hughes, but it's intercepted by his KOO RUP teammate, and he's got numbers on the far wing, but chooses not to go there. Instead, he looks for Voss, but it's intercepted, and we've got Kyle Nunn after the ball now. He picks it up and goes inside towards the corridor and finds a teammate in Witter. So Witter then switches the play. He's got Miller, and he's got numbers on this outer side now. So Miller then kicks on to his teammate in Twite. So Twite's just had to hold things up a minute. He goes on the left foot towards half forward looking for Voss. Comes off hands and it's picked up by McLeod, who then kicks it long, but it's coming back through the agency of Stockel, who's got a little bit of time here. Kicks it out towards Nunn on that far wing, and he manages to keep it in. So Nunn goes towards the corridor. He's turned it over and it's gone to McLeod, who's able to play on handball and get it off to Kinder, and he gets it back through Kinder. Picked up there by Allen. Allen shrugs a tackle, gets his handball out to Ross, I believe. Ross then hits up a teammate and finds Ashley Allen. His teammates tell him to settle and to go back and have a shot. So they've really lifted last couple of minutes of Bunyip and really like the way they've gone about moving the ball from their defensive 50 to attack. Looking to use the corridor as much as possible. So Ashley Allen, about 40 out, slide angle, comes in. And that's a beautiful kick. Goal umpire has not moved. So they got their kicking boots on this quarter. Do Bunyip, and they are starting to kick away now. They move on to 8-6-54, plays 3-4-22. That's on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. They've just gone over 10 minutes in this first quarter. And we'll have Badhams going up against that man in Proud again. Now the umpire has pulled a free kick and they'll be going the way of Proud. And he's got a couple of teammates in Helmore just hanging around the back, and he was going to give the handball. He might give the handball on, and he does now to Quirk, who goes long inside 50. Comes off hands through Williams. Picked up there by McMillan. McMillan gets his handball out to McLeod. McLeod then handballs it out to Williams, who gets it onto that man in Ashley Allen, who has kicked his second goal in about 30 seconds. So again, great movement there with some quick handballs. They're starting to kick away a little bit now. The Bulldogs, and they move on to 9-6-60. 3-4-22 KOO RUP. We've gone nearly 11 and a half minutes in this third quarter. So they're just starting to put the KOO RUP defence under a bit of pressure. Every time they go inside 50 at the moment, do Bunyip. As Brent Hughes comes in for a spell in the ruck, and he'll do battle against Riley Badhams. So Badhams wins the hit out convincingly, punches it forward. Numbers of both sides chase after the ball. And we'll have a boundary throw in, centre wing, far side of the ground. So the ball's thrown back in. It's a big fist there by Hughes. And we'll have another boundary throw in, but it's an effective big fist there from Hughes. He's able to gain an extra 20, 25 metres for his team there. So it'll be a boundary throw in, halfway between the half forward flank and wing and the far side of the ground, attacking side for Bunyip. This ball gets thrown back in, another big fist by Hughes. It's picked up by a Bunyip player. He's tackled, ball spills out. Now Papley gets the handball out, but it's intercepted. Now it comes back in and it's going through the agency of Hughes, who kicks it long. Now I think there was to be a free kick there, and it was. Miller was held. Now he's got numbers out on this commentary box side, and he uses them through the agency of Riley Dolan. So Dolan's held up a little bit. He chooses to go back and switch the direction of play, and he's going to go back to Miller. So they might, and they are. They're going to go back, switching it to Jesse Camerano. So Camerano's then got Luke Glassborough over the top. He misses him, just goes over his head. He's able to pick it back up, but he's tackled straight away. So great pressure with their zone there, Bunyip. They were able to hold things up and keep them, forcing them to switch back and forth, and they're able to get a stoppage out of it. Ball goes up. Yeah, I think McMillan got one high there on Badams. So it'll be a free kick. And Badams gets the ball over to Cozzy, who gives the handball over, sweeping handball to a teammate. Now he's going to come back and go over the top and find that man in Nathan Murator, who's going to quickly play on and kick it long up the wing where we have a contest. And it comes off hands. In fact, it doesn't come off hands. It's James Voss who comes up with it. He's got a bit of space in for side 50. He looks for a teammate. Ball fisted away. That man Wells, who we haven't said his name too much today. So Bunyip are able to clear the ball from their defensive 50. They got the numbers on the wing. The ball gets out the back. Now they've got a bit of time here. How they work it, we'll see. Ball goes out to Luke Glassborough, who hits his teammate short and finds Gallant. So Gallant's looking inboard and he finds a teammate in Miller. Now they've got the overlap on the outer side in Stockel if they want to use it. He decides not to. Now he does. So he goes over to his teammate in Stockel. And he's waiting for some resurgence. In fact, no, he comes back out to the commentary box side and finds Jesse Camerano, who then kicks it in short and finds Twite. Now Twite's a left footer, so he's going to have to go back. And he just pops it up and finds his teammate in Glassborough, who's had a bit of it in the past couple of minutes. So Luke's being told to kick it down the line, looking for Voss. So Voss is going to compete against a couple here, and he's pushed out of it, and the umpire says play on. In fact, no, it might be the umpire off the ball. Yes, it was. So Voss gets the free kick. So Nathan Voss, and he's got no one standing on the mark at the moment, so he quickly plays on. And the idea was right, but standing in the hole was Daniel Halmore, who gets back to help his defence. Now he switches out and he's going out to a teammate in Aaron Paxton. Just holds things up a bit and he chips over. Finds, I think that's Ross on the outer side. So Ross goes to Quirk. Quirk goes back inboard. Kicks it. Finds Williams, who's able to duck under and play on. He's got a KOO RUP player coming at him. He draws a player and gets the handball over the top. Ball's then kicked back inside to inboard, and that's a fantastic mark by Xavier Kinder. Really liked a couple of his touches today. Handball's on to a teammate, who then goes long towards the goal square where Proud's got a mismatch. And they're able to rush it for a behind. So 3-4-22 KOO RUP. Plays at 9-7-61. Bunyip as the ball comes back into play. And a good little mark there by Mitch Alderson. He's going to switch play back up to Stockel, who's got a teammate on, but he does well there, Proud, just to hold them up. So he kicks it out looking for Twite. Ball comes off hands and it's picked up by Jesse Camerano. He goes up the wing. But it's all Bunyip, and it might be coming back in through the agency of Thurning. He goes long inside 50 looking for a teammate. It's fisted away through Miller. So we'll have a boundary throw in left forward pocket. We have Proud versus Badams, who have done battle many times this afternoon. Ball comes out the back through Cozzy. Cozzy's able to move the handball on. Intercepted, though, there by Keith. In fact, it was Can. And the umpires pulled a free kick out, and I think it's going the way of Bunyip. In fact, it might be that man, Dylan Can. So good person to have the ball in hands with when going inside 50. He quickly plays on. He handballs over to Allen. Allen goes long from 50. It's going to go right to the line. Proud goes for it, and they're able to rush it through for a minor score. So they move on to 9-8-62. He's going to play on Stockel. And it's smothered by Proud. So it's all going their way at the minute. Bunyip come out and breathing fire this second half and really put the foot on the throat. 40-point lead. So they're going to recall it and have another go. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Big fist in towards the corridor from Proud. It's picked up there by the man in Stockel, I think it is. He's going out wide looking for Wells, but it's intercepted by that man, Can. So Blake Can plays on. Kicks it long and high to the top of the square. They got numbers galore, KOO RUP. They're able to force it through for a behind. So they're under a bit of duress, that defence, at the minute, the KOO RUP side. Peppering away at the minute, the Bunyip team. As Cozzy has the ball at full back, looking to bring the ball back in. All the players on the far side of the ground. He's able to kick it long towards Voss and comes off hands to the other Voss. Picked up by Nunn, who goes long looking for a teammate. It comes off hand. It was McMaster he was looking for. Sorry, McMaster. Ball spills out, and I think that's Hughes who's gone with the long mongrel punt. Now they flick it around quickly there, and Kinder's able to flick the ball out to teammates, and it comes out to Allen. Ball then comes out to Matt Ross, who then kicks it inside 50. And the mark taken by Jesse Camerano, who didn't take his eyes off the ball then. He's been good for KOO RUP this quarter. He's had a bit of it across half back as Jesse Camerano. So Nunn's able to be spoiled, and he's going for a run now. He's got a bit of speed. Now the umpire calls play on, came out in the tackle. The ball comes out to Kinder. Kinder quickly plays on. He goes inside 50 with a short kick towards the boundary line, looking for his teammate in Brazer. Now, boundary umpire has, it said it's come off the KOO RUP defender's boot, unfortunately. So it's going to be a free kick in that far forward pocket to Bunyip. Just have a look and see. Who that is. Can't quite see who it is, but he's going to have a shot, and he's kicked it to his near side. So 9-10, 64, plays 3-4-22. It's an even 7 goals now as they bring it in towards the commentary side now through to Twite. He goes back to Cozzy. And Cozzy goes back out to that far side, but he misses the target in Jesse Camerano. We're going to have a boundary throw in. So their forward pressure and the way they've been able to execute their zone setup, particularly in this third quarter, has been second to none from Bunyip. It's been really difficult for KOO RUP to be able to pierce their way through any gaps. So we just wait for the ball to come back in. It's gone 22 minutes in this third quarter. So the ball's thrown back in. Big fist away there from Badams. And it's picked up by that man in Dylan Can again, who goes long inside 50. And a diving attempt, and it's come off hands. In fact, it might be out of bounds on the full. And it will be. So diving attempt there from Ben Brazer, but it's out of bounds on the full. And it looks like it might be that man in Jesse Camerano to bring the ball back in as he goes to a contest. And a big fly there from Voss. He's unable to take the mark. Ball spills out the back. They got the overlap runners though, KOO RUP, as they go back inboard. Picked up by Wells, who then has players on the outer side in Witter. Witter's able to take the mark, and he's got Twide on the outside. If he wants to use him, he does. He goes back into Twide, who's going to want to get back onto his left foot. They hold him up well here to Bunyip, and the umpire's called played on. So he's going to go as long as he can to the top of the square. He's got Voss, I think it is, at the back. And a fantastic mark. I think it might be James Voss. Just read that perfectly, and we do have another contender for that Fuse by King G mark of the day. Let's just have a look and see. It is. It's James Voss. He puts it through. It's a timely goal. Keeps them within that 6-goal margin, so you never say never in this competition. You never say never. So they move on to 4-4-28, plays 9-10-64, and that is on your Totally Workwear scoreboard. We've gone just a tick under 24 minutes as we go into time on of this third quarter. They'd love another one just before three-quarter time, would KOO RUP. So umpire throws the ball back up, and we'll give that hit out to Hughes. And we'll have a secondary bounce. Ball goes back up, and we'll have Hughes and Badhams do battle, and a big hit out there from Hughes. It's now picked up by Proud, and he's gang tackled. Umpire says play on. Now, Luke Glassborough tried to force his way through. He was unsuccessful. He goes back in and tries to wrap up the Bunyip player, and the umpires pulled a free kick to Bunyip here. And it's that man in Xavier Kinder again. Now, he's got numbers screaming out for the overlap. He's going to go long inside 50. He's looking for a teammate who's outnumbered. He's able to take the mark in the end. Is Galash, who's been a bit quiet since that first quarter. He started like a house on fire. He sits it to the hot spot. They got all the numbers here, though. They spoil each other. Now, the umpire's paid a free kick, and he did potentially duck his shoulders, but he did get him high, and it's going to be Jeb McLeod lining up, and this one really will hurt. And not a problem. Straight through the middle. So 10-10-70 plays 4-4-28 on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. That one really hurts. 6-goal lead. If they're able to pinch one themselves just before three-quarter time, it keeps them within that 5-goal margin, but the old 11-point play, they're able to go the other end, score a goal, and put it back out to a 7-goal lead. So as we near the end of this third quarter, things are starting to become a bit difficult for the KOO RUP side. As we got Proud in the middle again, doing battle with Badhams. So the ball goes up. And Papley's able to wrap his teammate up. We'll have a secondary bounce, and the ball goes up. Proud gets the ball to his teammate in Allen, and it's picked up there by Mitchell Camerano. He's taken high. He quickly plays on and looks to go long and deep inside 50. He's got Voss coming out at the ball. He flies. Can't mark. Kicks it over his head, though, but the numbers are with Bunyip, and he's able... Now, interesting one there. Was he under pressure? The umpire says yes, so rush behind. They'll quickly play on the Bunyip side, that outer side wing, so they're going to go long up the line. And a big fist away there by Badams. In fact, it stays in. So the ball comes out there by Murator, who kicks it long, and a massive mark. Huge mark there, and I think it might have been O'Halloran. We'll find out. So we'll keep an eye on that. The siren goes though, however. And at 3/4 time, KOO RUP 4-5-29 plays Bunyip 10-10-70. That's on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. We will have a quick break and we'll come back and we will dissect that third quarter where Bunyip were able to kick away with things in the end. But we'll be back after a few messages from our sponsors.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. And it's feeling like I've been enough. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Winterland whisper in my ear, make my troubles all disappear.
This is a story of a community that likes to work hard, digging, fixing, building, keeping people safe, or just lending a hand. A community that all have one place to come together, where they're spoilt for choice and good service is everything. And although there are stores all over Australia, the owners are as local as they come. Totally Workwear, clothing your hard-working community.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. And it's feeling like I've been enough. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me.
Welcome back to KOO RUP Recreation Reserve, where they kicked away in that quarter. Bunyip moved on to 10-10-70, leading the Demons 4-5-29. It's on your Totally Workwear GIPPSLAND scoreboard. Again, another shout out to all our partners, and big thank you to Fairhaven Homes, the naming rights partner of the match of the day. We sing the praises every week of our good friends at Totally Workwear for their contribution to this live stream. Alex Scott and staff as well. Big supporters of West Gippsland Football Netball League. Sorry, Football Netball Competition. My apologies. So we're in for an interesting last quarter. I think the instruction will be from KOO RUP is just try and win the quarter. We don't want to get blown away here. So 41-point lead to Bunyip. They don't want them to drop their heads and all of a sudden a 40-point game turns into a 70, 80-point game. If they can, win the quarter and it's a 4 or 5 goal loss, I guess it's an honourable loss if there is such thing, but it just minimises that damage a bit. And they haven't been that bad. I think they've just haven't capitalised on a couple of opportunities. And when I say capitalise on opportunities, they've had the play, but they haven't managed to go inside 50 enough. And when they have, Wells has just been well held today. I was really looking forward to seeing Jason Wells and seeing what he could do, but they've obviously put a lot of time and effort into him, the Bunyip side, so his impact has been minimised. As we wait for the crowd to clear the deck, as we get ready for last quarter. So we're just waiting for the last of the people to clear the decks and we'll get things underway. Massive thank you to the Camerano family for supplying their truck. Remember the G&M Camerano and Sons, I believe it's called. Yes, the G&M Camerano and Sons commentary box we have going on here, and supplied us with a beautiful truck on the wing. Perfect position for calling match of the round live stream. So the ball goes up, big hit there by Badams, and it's picked up by Voss, who's able to get it onto a teammate who scraps it forward. Nunn fights it out with the opponent of Bunyip, and it's dived on top of it there, so he'd want to get rid of it, Voss, and he's got one high. So the umpire's going to pay a free kick. So Voss has it about 55 out from goal. He handballs over to a teammate in Murator, who chips it in sideways to Cozzy. Now, he might be within range. He elects not to go for goal. He puts it to the top of the goal square, and great intercept mark there by O'Halloran, and it was in fact O'Halloran who took that big mark towards the end of the last quarter, so he's in contention for the Fuse by King G mark of the day. His kick's not the greatest though, and leaves a bit of work for his teammate in Dylan Can to get out and fight amongst it. Ball comes in, but it's chopped off there by, I think that's Keith, and Keith comes out to his teammate in Paxton, who gets the handball over to Quirk. He asks for people to come at him. He then chips it over the top and finds Kinder. Kinder has an overlap runner in Thuring up the side. He gives the handball. Thuring's running down the wing. Umpire calls something off the ball. Now I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I actually think that should be 50 metres. I think if you hold someone off the ball like that, I believe it should be 50 metres from where it happened if you're in possession of the ball. So, but anyway, we have Blake Can, who has the ball on the wing, and he hits up a teammate, and beautiful hit to Papley, who's looking inboard and looking to move it pretty quickly. He does. He's got Allen on the outside. He uses him. Allen then goes inside 50 towards the pocket. He's got a teammate leading up at him, but he's taken out of it by the KOO RUP opponent, and Stockel gets a kick away and finds a teammate in Mitchell Camerano. So Camerano kicks it out wide, and he's got Cozzy, who's got a little bit of space. He takes a nice one-handed mark. Again, though, they're able just to hold things up. Bunyip, make life difficult to pierce through this defence as he chips into his teammate and finds Mitchell Camerano yet again. It's a bit quieter in that third quarter, Camerano, but really liked his first half. And now the umpire about 200 metres away has picked a free kick, and it is going KOO RUP's way, and it's going to go to Galland. So he quickly plays on and gives it off to Meritor, who gives it back to Galland, who kicks it long towards half forward. He's got Voss standing underneath it. He flies. Ball spills out. Ball comes out, I think it was to Keith. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So Keith handballs over to Quirk. Quirk gets it to Allen. Allen then kicks down the line, looking for a teammate. Is it out of bounds on the full? No, we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for Bunyip, far side of the ground. Now the umpire's pulled out another free kick off the ball. No, in fact, he's called it back to the boundary umpire. Boundary umpire throws the ball back in. Now Hughes pushes out, and he is pinged for it, so the ball will come back. I think it might be, yes it is, it's Badham's still in the ruck. He'll have teammates cruising past for a handball if he wants to give it to them. He's got Cozzy in short. He elects to go long down the line, but the umpire's going to call him back, and probably better so, because he's kicked it straight to a Bunyip player. So the ball's going to come back to Badhams between wing and half back for KOO RUP. He's got Miller to his left if he wants to use him. He does. He chips it in short. So Miller just holds. He's going to go back across the ground and find Jesse Camerano. Liked his third quarter. He's going to go back up the line, though. So he kicks it looking for a teammate. Comes off hands. He spins in and out of trouble, and again the umpire pulls a free kick out, and this time it's going to Kyle Nunn. He's done a couple of good things today. He gives the handball to Cozzy, who's running through for the handball. He kicks it in long towards half forward. He's got Voss competing. And he gets front position and earns the free kick. Now he pierces in short, looking for that teammate in McMaster. He's not able to pick it up. Bunyip get numbers back. They're able to corral the ball and possess it and get it out to a teammate in Thuring who's able to clear it. Now the umpire again has pulled a free kick. Lots of free kicks paid in this game. Is it Nunn? I think it might be going to Nunn again, yes. He's got numbers inboard if he wants to use them. He does. So he goes back to that man in Jesse Camerano. Again, he's got a couple of numbers in short. He goes sideways and finds Meritor. So Meritor goes long up the line and finds Cozzy all by himself. Cozzy goes in short, finds Nunn again. He's got players running by, and it's that man in Nathan Meritor who kicks it long to the top of the square. It's fisted away from Bunyip. Ball spills out the back. It's picked up there by, I think that's Keith. He clears away and kicks up and spots up, and I think that might be Ross. Ross goes back inboard to Allen. Allen's now got a bit of time on his hands. He plays on. He's got overlapping runners. He gets it onto a teammate who kicks it towards a broadcast wing looking for Williams. Proud pushes a teammate out. Kinder then handballs it out. Now, that man in Blake Cairns got a bit of space on the wing. He's held up by a couple of KOO RUP players. He's able to get his handball out to Paxton. Paxton gets it onto McLeod, who's hot. It comes out to Proud. Proud's then hot again. Now, front on bump. Now there's a bit of tension here as Paxton was meant front on by Camerano, Jesse Camerano. Now the umpire's pull 50 metres, so he'll be within scoring distance now. So he'll have an opportunity to kick his second. So not a bad game for a defender if he can go forward and kick a couple of goals. He's been solid across halfback as Paxton. Liked his game. He's been hard to get through. So Paxton lines up for goal. He's kicked it away to that. It's gone left and to that far side. One behind. So they move to 10-11-71. Makes it an even 7-goal lead. Now that man in Nathan Murator is going to bring the ball back in. He's going to go out wide. In fact, no, he changes his mind and goes up the middle. He's got Voss, who cops a knee in the back. It spills out. Bunyip go deep inside 50. One-handed attempt there by, I think it was the man in Galash. Now the ball snapped and it might bounce, and it's bounced through. I think it was that man in McMillan. In fact, it might have been Elmore. Just missed that one. George, my cameraman's no help either. So, either way, they move on to 11-11-77 and they kick away to an 8-goal lead now to Bunyip with KOO RUP 4-5-29. It's on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. So the ball goes up. Hughes and Adams go at it. Now Cozzy gets the ball and gets the clearance and kicks it forward, and he finds a teammate in Gallant. Gallant plays on quickly and kicks it short, and good hit there by Jason Wells, who's been quiet. He's been well held. So Wells goes in and he kicks the goal. So he's battled hard today as Wells. And if he can get supply like that, most weeks he'd be happy. It's a great kick going inside 50 to lead up the footy and reduces the margin back to that 7-goal deficit. So ball back in the middle, and we've got Brent Hughes going up against Badams. Give that one to Hughes. Comes out to Allen, and Allen just kicks it to space inside 50. And that man in Brazer just kicks the ball and keeps it out in front. KOO RUP are able to force the ball out, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So ball comes back in. Quick kick forward, finds Allen, no, just can't quite get there. Miller kicks it off the ground for KOO RUP. It's picked up there by McMillan. He gets a handball out to a teammate who's tackled. Helmore then tries to get the ball out and he can't get it out, but he then supplies a tackle and we'll have another ball up. So Hughes to do battle again. Give that one a tie. Ball comes out by McLeod. Go inside 50, Bunyip looking for Brazer. And slapped away from him, and we'll have another boundary throw in. So ball goes in. Give that one to Hughes again. It's picked up by Mitchell Camerano. Might have had a case for holding the man free kick, the KOO RUP player. The umpire says play on. We'll have another bounce. At 11.5 minutes gone. Final quarter. Give that one to the Bunyip player. It was Proud. Gets the clearance, though, is Murator, who kicks it long to the wing, but it is all Bunyip, and I think that is Quirk out on that far side. So Quirk holds it up. He's got runners on the outside, and he gives it. Misses the target by hands, though. I think he was looking for his teammate in Thurring, and we'll have a boundary throw-in between wing and half forward, far side of the ground. So ball goes in. Give that one to Hughes again, who taps it down to Allen, who puts it to the top of the square, and ball bounces awkwardly for Camerano. The ball's then spilt out by McMillan. Witter then goes in and gets a quick kick and finds Voss. Voss has got players on in the corridor if he wants to use them. Elects not to. So he just holds things up half back, and he goes long down the line. Looking for his brother, and just off hands, unable to find him. He's got none at his feet who's able to gather and pick up. He twists and he turns, and he goes back and uses the player in Murator, who then kicks towards the middle, and it's chopped off there by Helmore, and they got numbers flowing here, and the ball comes out to Can. Can then kicks on to Papley, who's running forward of the ball. Gets an awkward bounce. Ball sits up, though, for Voss. Voss then kicks towards the boundary line. Now, again, they got the numbers here. We've got McMillan gets there first. He gets the handball over to Helmore. Helmore then kicks it down. But there's been a 50-metre penalty paid. So I think it is going to Alex McMillan. So he's come to life a bit this final quarter. He'll be about 48 metres out from goal. Now Helmore's just, and I think Voss has picked up on it, so he's given up. So be interesting to see if he's got the distance here. It's about to take a good 50-metre kick. It comes off the boot a bit awkwardly, and they're able to get a fist forward. It's chased down there. It comes out to McLeod. McLeod gets a snap. KOO RUP player is able to mark it, and that is James Lucas. Lucas then chips on over to his teammate in Mitchell Camerano. Camerano then goes in short and finds Witter. Witter goes short and goes back to Camerano. Camerano goes in short. He misses the player, though. Comes out to Papley. Papley snaps, and Papley goals. Now he kicks his second, I believe that is, for William Papley. And if he's anything like his brother, I'm going to go with brother. I believe it is his brother. Very sharp and aware around goals as Mitchell Camerano comes off for a spell, who's tried his guts out all day for KOO RUP, and we've got Cozzy going back on ball. Cozzy Agnostu and Noganostu. I'm going to get that by the end of the season as the ball gets thrown up again, and Hughes wins that hit out. Ball comes out to Voss, who then gets it out to Witter. Witter then has numbers on the outside, and he gets it out to Glassborough. Glassborough's spoiled, though, by his opponent in Can. Can does well to hold it up. It comes out to Papley. Papley then dodges one and goes inside. He kicks it with a mongrel punt going long inside 50, looking for McMillan. Can't find McMillan. Lucas overruns it. Proud overruns it. Goes back in and gets it. Bursts his way through. Gets a handball out to Helmore. Helmore then kicks it. And gee, I tell you what, that's curling back perfectly. Really, really liked Helmore's game. So they kick away to 13-11-89. Plays 5-5-35. And that is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. Ball goes up. Hit out one by Banson. The clearance by Cozzy. Nice mark to Nunn, who gives the handball out to Voss. Voss then goes inside 50, looking for his brother, who's had his arms chopped. Umpire says play on. Ball spills out. Comes out to Paxton, who gets the handball out to Ross, I think it is. His handball doesn't find a target. McMillan makes it look good though, and he weaves his way out and finds Can on the outside. In fact, no, it's Paxton. So Paxton's told to play on, and he's going to go long down the line towards the Camerano commentary box. Great pick up there by McLeod, who's got a player on inside him, Brazer. He's unable to hit him though, and Nunn's got a bit of pace, the burn. He takes him on as an opponent free. And oh, fantastic effort there by Murtoro, but it wasn't able to get it. Comes out to Helmore, who then gets the handball over to a teammate, who then passes it on to Dylan Can. Dylan Can then kicks it long down the line, but it's out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a KOO free kick. Cross half back. So Jesse Camerano goes along. It's all Bunyip, and that's Jeb McLeod, who's had a big second half. Gets it on to Helmore. And he's got Williams just perfectly seated out the back. And he'll line up for his third, Williams. And, gee, really liked Helmore's game. Again, I don't think he's had the most possessions on the ground, but when he's got it in his hands, something usually happens. So if he kicks this, it'll put it out to a 10-goal margin. So Williams coming in, about 30 out, 45-degree angle. And Williams comes in and kicks his third. So they've managed to just run away with it in this second half of Bunyip. They were always in control in that first half, but not on the scoreboard, and they were in reaching distance was KOO RUP, but they've managed to kick away. 5-5-35 plays 14-11-95. That's on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. Gone just under 19 minutes, and the ball goes up in the middle. Looks like potentially Gallant at the bottom of that, and we'll have a secondary bounce. Ball slaps away. It's Quirk who gets it out to O'Halloran. Kick smothered though, and Voss gets a handball out to Adams, who then gets it on to Murator. Murator gets it out to Gallant. Gallant dodges one. He's tackled, and it's holding the ball. So he nearly broke away there, but it was a great tackle there by Jack Tompkins, who handballs on to Quirk, who then kicks out to Keith. Locked his game, Keith. Between him and Paxton, they've been solid across half back. So he just goes long towards the wing. A good mark there by Matthew Voss. He plays on, and he's going to go long inside 50, looking for his brother. But gee, that's a courageous mark there, just dropping back into the hole, Quirk. Ryan Quirk, he's used the ball well across half back, and so is this man in Chris Thurning. He asks for players to come at him. He stops and he props. He's got a shepherd on from a teammate. He now goes long to a contest on the far wing, and Helmore just gets a fist, and he tries to get it out of bounds, and he succeeds. So I'll take that, the Bulldogs. Gone 20.5 minutes into your final quarter. So ball thrown back in. Neither ruckman gets hands on it. It's picked up by Witter, but he's tackled straight away by that man in Galash. Now, Galash started like a house on fire. He's just faded out a little bit as the game's gone on, but he did start the game very well. So give that one to Badams, who wins the hit out and taps it down. But again, we'll have a secondary bounce. Umpire balls it up. Badams wins the hit out. Got Papley chasing after it. Nunn gets a kick off the ground for KOO RUP though. It's picked up by O'Halloran. Gets a handball away looking for Thuring. Thuring goes back inboard and finds Quirk. Quirk gets a quick kick, but can only find Kyle Nunn of KOO RUP. So Nunn goes long inside 50, looking for Voss, who comes across the front of the pack. Now, ran out of room, we'll have a boundary throw him. So 10-goal margin here out at KOO RUP Recreation Reserve as Voss grabs it out of the ruck and he's slung. The umpire is going to pay it as a sling tackle. So like the contribution from all the Voss boys today, Nathan, James and Matthew. So Voss comes in, kicks from about 40, and it looks pretty good. It is, and that's a goal, and he brings the margin back to 9 goals. So they move to 6-5-41, plays Bunyip's 14-11-95. It's on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard. So ball up in the middle. Give that one to Hughes. And the clearance there by Allen, who kicks it in long, and Stockwell can't grab it. Comes out to Halmore, who gets a handball, but it's ineffective. Stockwell picks it back up again, but he's tackled by his Bunyip player. Forward pressure's relentless here. They keep pressing Bunyip, and we'll have a stoppage. No, in fact, we'll have a free kick pulled out, and it might be going the way of Ashley Allen. In fact, no, it's going to go to Jason Williams, who's going to line up for his 4th. So Williams, 10 metres out, virtually no angle to speak of, should kick his 4th goal. And he does. So 4 goals to Williams. And he puts them on to 15-11-101, plays KOO RUP, 6-5-41. Played 24 minutes into this final quarter. So I wouldn't have thought there'd be too long left as we're in about halfway through time on. So umpire bowls the ball back up. Now, it could have been a throw, but it comes out. Papley's chasing it. He's got Camerano hot in his tail, though. He gets a handball out to... Is that Can? It is, and it comes off hands. We'll have a boundary throw in. Really, really happy with the overlap run from Bunyip today. It's been fantastic, some of the way that they've been able to get the ball moving off half-back as the ball comes out to Allen, who gets a quick handball out. He actually gets up and picks up his own handball. He handballs it out to Halmore, who's got players in support. It's Papley. Papley's bumped as he kicked, but gee, I tell you what, Papley kicks his 3rd. He's been terrific today, has Papley. He puts through his 3rd. They move to 16-11-107. Plays 6-5-41. So we've had a few goals kicked into this last quarter, so it might be a longish one. This ball goes back up, and we've got Hughes and Badams going at it. Allen wins the hit out and goes to that man in Can. It's picked up by Papley, who goes inboard. He's got his way in and out terrifically, and he spirals one inside 50. Coming out to meet it was Stockwell. Hits the ground, though, and I think it's that man in Williams. In fact, no, it's Ross. Ross is tackled, and the umpire says holding the ball. He might have done something to himself here. Ross? They play on, though. for the KOO RUP side. And that man, Nathan Murator, who's battled hard all day, plays on and goes towards the outside looking for Voss. Goes over his head and we'll have a boundary throw in. So ball to come back in. Got Badhams and Hughes going at it. Hughes wins it and kicks it forward and falls into the lap of Jeb McLeod, who's had a big second half. He's looking for runners coming by, and Papley's going to stream by. He's going to get the handball. He's going to run. He's going to have a shot from about 55. It comes off, though. Now, I reckon Williams might have been held onto there. Umpire says no, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So the ball comes back in. Give that to Ashley Allen and ball sock it away and we'll have a secondary boundary throw in. So ball goes in, tap back in. And fighting his way out there is Mitchell Camerano, who's able to go for a run. Runs a long way without taking a bounce. Umpire says that's okay, but he turns it over and he's kicked it to his opponent in Keith. And he's got numbers on short and he kicks it to O'Halloran, who mops it up, who can go back to Keith if he wants. He's going to go long down the line though. He does, and he's got Paxton there, and Voss is able to get a fist in over the back, and we'll have a boundary throw in just in front of the supporters there on the half forward flank for Bunyip. So ball to be thrown back in. Give that tap to Hughes. It's picked up there by the Bunyip player who kicks it. Oh! What a mark! Fantastic mark. Now, just trying to see who it was. I reckon it was Ross. I reckon it was Matt Ross. And he goes in and finishes off with a goal. We've had some good marks today, but I think Matt Ross, in the 30th minute of the last quarter, has come in, and I think he's going to take the Fuse by King G Totally Workwear mark of the day, because that was a fantastic mark, and he's gone back and finished it. Quite often you see them take a big mark and go back and kick a minor score. So, fantastic mark there from Matt Ross. Kick forward there by Gallant. Couple of Bunyip players fly. It spills out to McMaster, and he snaps it through. So a constellation there for McMaster. He's tried hard today. He's done a couple of nice things. They move on to 7-5-47. There's KOO RUP. Plays 17-11-113. Bunyip, we have gone 30 and a half minutes into this final term. Wouldn't have thought there'd be too much longer left. So that Badhams going up against Hughes. So Badhams goes up. Hughes wins that fist, and it's taken by Camerano, and he's quickly tackled, and we'll have a secondary bounce. So Badhams is able to slap the ball forward, and there's the siren. So a convincing wing in the end for the Bunyip side. So Bunyip 7-11-113 plays KOO RUP Demons 7-5-47. That is on your Totally Workwear Gippsland scoreboard for your Fairhaven Homes Match of the Day live stream. They were brilliant in that second half, Bunyip. It's a bit of an arm wrestle in that first half. They did have control, but they weren't able to show it on the scoreboard. But that third and fourth quarter, they were really able to put them to the sword. And, gee, wasn't there a few standout performances from the Bunyip side? They toiled hard, KOO RUP, particularly in that first half. Thought they did a good job in nullifying some of the bigger forwards of the Bunyip side, but they just had too many contributors across the board. And I did say that pre-game, that they don't rely on one or two Bunyip. They've got an even spread across the board, and when searching for a premiership, that's exactly what you want. Thought all the Voss boys from KOO RUP battled hard today. Thought they gave it a red-hot crack. Both Camerano boys as well. Nathan Murator, I hope I'm saying that correctly as well. He was good for most of the day across. He played a bit on ball, a bit across half back and a bit across half forward. So, in the end, as we said, Bunyip, just trying to work out, 11 goals, 11 goal winners in the end. So once again, out at KOO RUP Recreation Reserve, we had KOO RUP 7-5-47, plays Bunyip 17-11, 113. And it's just myself today with the 1, 2 and 3, so I'm going to give my one vote to the namesake of the commentary box we are sitting in, and not sure if this has anything to do with my swayed voting, but no, I thought he was certainly thought he was KOO RUP's best player, and that's Mitchell Camerano. So very appreciative for G&M Camerano and Sons, vegetable and fruit wholesalers. So get out and say g'day to them if you see them at one of the markets or one of the wholesale outlets. Yeah, fantastic view and fantastic setup here in the truck. So I'll give my one vote to Mitchell Camerano. As I said, I thought he was KOO RUP's best player. My two votes I'm going to give. Now, it might be a bit of a left field one. I really liked Dylan Cairns' game off half-back. I loved his ball use coming off the half-back line and setting up play. So I'm giving 2 votes to Dylan Cairn. Now, my 3 votes, it's a bit of an apology here because I really could have split it, and part of me wants to go 1.5 each because they were both brilliant. But William Papley gets my 3 votes. I just thought his explosiveness out of stoppage and the ability to hit the scoreboard from the midfield. I think he finished with 3. He would have had his 20-25 disposals and was a real difference in the end. Apologies, though, to Daniel Halmore, who I think was also very influential throughout the day and said it a few times throughout the broadcast. He certainly didn't have the most possessions on the ground, but when he had the ball in hand, he was able to make the most of it. He gets my 3 votes. Now, in terms of the mark of the day, well, as I said earlier on in that quarter, well, only about 5 minutes ago, what a mark that was by Matt Ross. About the 30th minute of the last quarter, he was able to go back and sit on someone's head and then kick the goal. So the Fuse by King G, Totally Workwear Gippsland mark of the day goes to Matt Ross. And our goal of the day, which, as always, proudly brought to you by the King G Trade Comfort boot, very comfortable boot. We've given the goal of the day, which came early on in the game. So we had mark of the day coming late in the game. We had goal of the day coming early in the game. And that goes to Xavier Kinder with his left foot snap in the opposite pocket for a left footer. Was able to get the ball quickly onto his boot on the boundary line and through for a goal early in that first quarter. That's it. That's it from KOO RUP Recreation Reserve. Thanks for those who have been kind enough to tune in and listen to my voice for 2 hours and my voice only. I'm sure many of you probably switched off the volume at least at some stages, but on behalf of myself, Kyle Pover, our cameraman George Malakis, we'll be back next week with a juicy match of the round with Phillip Island versus Inverloch Comwag.